Ladies and gentlemen, it's a very special week. Hopefully you're watching this video, and it's the first week of April of 2022. The patron, Dr. Salty Whale. You know why it's a special week, folks? Before you click off and get angry because you're seeing the Monarch picture. Ladies and gentlemen, we are less than 1 week until the Monarch Print Run numbers are released. So, this is the last Monarch box opening we have in the queue for this quarter. And good luck, Michael, also known as the Salty Whale. He's done some box openings in the past this channel, and I believe he's done very well. I remember we did some in the past. The name sounds familiar. So, as we crack open some Monarch here, I think it's important for everyone to understand this remains the biggest swing in price of any product I've ever sold on the channel to the patrons or anything. Our first one, foil coming. And of course, rare. This remains the largest swung pricing item, like the biggest percentage drop item I've ever sold in the 6 years on this channel. Now, long term, what's going to happen? Is it going to remain a disaster? Is it going to come back? Is the market right? Is the market wrong? Are we going to get print run information in the next week and it's going to come out? There's so many of these. The market's just people are going to bail and freak out. Or is there's not as many as people thought and people are just overly emotional, panicking, and the market's going to get a floor and things are finally going to change. Foil common surging. That is the biggest moment right now in the world of flesh and blood. I can't emphasize enough the amount of people messaging, asking, waiting to digest these numbers. Because it's not just, let me explain something. What's coming is not just the Monarch Print Run. Ooh, hey, our first Majestic Beacon. It's not just how many Monarch boxes were printed. It's setting a tone of, is LSS overprinting? Do they know what they're doing? You know, all that kind of emotion. That's really what's driving. Ooh, hello. I was like, whoa, old luminary out of us. Majestic cold foil. That's pretty spicy. Okay. That's a nice surprise. Wow. Didn't see that coming. Wasn't even paying attention. That's pretty awesome. It's not a rare cold foil. Crack bubble. All right. Majestic cold foil. Solid. Okay. Not worth it, not no library and, but hey, you know what? It's not a regular cold foil. It's actually worth a little bit. Hey, we're going to take it. Not bad, Salty. Not bad, man. So anyways, what's happening is the market as a whole wants to see where Monarch stands, and they want to extrapolate that data based and then forward to TOA, Tails, and of course to Everfest, and they want to learn and get an idea of better what's going on with the quantity, this and that. That's essentially, golly, cold foil common city. My goodness, what do you mean? Cold foil common, oh my god. The rainbow foil comments. Hey, there we go. The old Dread, Majestic number 2. So all we have are rainbow foil commons. We didn't have a flipping foil rare. It's like, what's going on with this box, man? I mean, I'm happy about the cold foil Majestic, but where's all the regular cards? It's super funky. Really, again? Stubby hammers for the meme. And rare. So that's, people want to know, like, if Monarch comes out to be XYZ number of boxes, is Tails, they're going to use that number and say, okay, well, if Monarch's that, you can add a percentage to Tails, and maybe they left it the same. Oh, is that a, I was like, wait a minute. I think it's a cold, that's a regular foil. Oh, that's our first foil rare, finally. Jeez, man. People want to use that information to kind of get an idea why is Tails first edition and Everfest first edition so cheap? That's the attitude. That's the going consensus from me listening and kind of seeing what's going on with everyone's opinion and attitude right now. Now, as far as what do I think the number's going to be and what do I think the potential windfalls or headwinds and spikes or tanks, it's going to be a very big moment. It's going to be a very big week. I think it's going to cause a lot of market movement, and I think it has the ability to set a floor or maybe kind of put a better understanding on what the value of Monarch should be. Here we are almost a year later, right? Golly, rainbow foil common again. Rare. We only have one rainbow foil rare. Super weird box opening. Goodness gracious. So, whisper numbers, I'll give you guys my opinion, and I'll give you guys what everyone thinks so far. And that is essentially, rare. Essentially, people believe that anything 100,000 or less on the print run for Monarch First Edition is a bullish indicator. Okay? Foil, God, foil common again? Every flipping pack's a foil common. It's even the same pitch. Anyways, so that's the whisper numbers. Like on Wall Street, when companies report earnings or something important, everybody kind of has their opinion, whisper numbers of what's good or bad. They have an expectation or a range. Nice little, God, that was a beautiful playmat we did a long time ago. That was awesome. Finally, tear limb from limb. At least we got a majestic. So, I believe, or the market believes, anything 100,000 or less for Monarch First Edition is going to indicate that the prices, finally, foil rare, for Monarch First Edition are underpriced based on selling for around 150 to 170 plus tax. Now, if Monarch First Edition comes out and the print run is 150 to 200,000 plus or anything, I'm going to be very blunt with everybody. According to what I've been listening to of people sending me nonstop messages and stores opinions, and if the print run comes out to be 150 or 200,000 or above, I believe we could experience some extreme downshifting bear market. Finally, foil rare at least. My goodness. Golly, a lot of brute cards. That's my concern. And I believe everything. Promos, cold foils, sealed product, Rudy cards, first edition boxes, every single thing across the board will reprice lower. At least I've been told, because they believe that shows a lack of confidence by the company on controlling print runs, and that means even moving forward on tails. Ooh, look at that. Finally, the old tome for foil majestic. Finally, very nice. Like, dude, we haven't gotten like any rainbow foils that are decent. Holy crap. That's kind of what I've been seeing. That's what people have been rambling about. That's what people have been talking about. Patrons. I've had multiple LGSs send me messages about that. You know, we're waiting to see this because it sets the tone of what's going to happen. Now, again, keep in mind, hey, foil rare, Fab 2.0 and essentially the consensus on 2.0 is the end of first edition boxes. So, again, even though this data may show one thing, with everything being different moving forward, again, that also changes really all the future sets. It's really not going to apply. Hey, shadow puppetry. Long time. I always thought that was a crazy artwork. I don't know why, but that artwork reminded me of like Mortal Kombat. Does anybody else remind you of Mortal Kombat? Like the bridge and like the two fighter? Nah, whatever. I'm just saying. Okay, so my personal opinion, as we get towards the end of this first box, not bad, Michael. Not bad for a Monarch box, honestly. This wasn't really a dumpster fire. Ton of rainbow foil commons though. It just felt higher than normal. But no, overall, a nice tome there for the rainbow foil majestic. Nice majestic cold foil. I don't think this is really that bad of a Monarch box. We've definitely seen a lot worse. Definitely seen. Hey, shadow of blessment. We've seen a lot worse. So that's box one. Not bad. Honestly, not bad at all. Could have been way worse. So that is the market's consensus of the bear case. If things are too extreme, people feel the prices of Monarch are going to tank even further. They feel the prices of TOA and Everfest are going to crash below MAP pricing, and the market is going to enter straight up bear market. That's, well, even worse than where it is according. That's the attitude I have gathered from everybody. Now, let me give you all the Rudy opinion. I personally don't think Monarch is going to come out and have some 200,000 plus print run craziness that people are saying. I actually believe the print run number on Monarch is actually going to come out and be a lot lower than everybody's expecting. And they're going to say, well, Rudy, what about how much boxes are on the market and this? I think what happened was so many people, ooh, foil majestic, Mark of the Beast. Nice way to start box two. What I think ended up happening, hey, invert existence, majestic, non-foil. Very nice. Okay, this is a stronger start. I believe what happened was a lot of the boxes were siphoned and moved to people who didn't want them. They were just looking to flip them really quick. And then when the market started to erode, what happened was all these boxes that are in the hands of people who don't want them started to just dump on the market and move back and forth, or as the negative crowd always says, well, Rudy, it's the same people just selling back and forth to each other. Well, some of that may come true, okay? And if this case, my opinion, is true, I think the print run for Monarch is going to be 100,000 or less. That's, again, what I'm hoping for to show more conservative and stability. Now, if that comes out to be true, which people are saying, Rudy, there's no way that's true. Supply is way too high. There's no way. I said, well, that, we don't know. I'm just guessing. And what I think the reason is there's so much, God, that looks so nice. Look at that Herald Angel. The reason I think there's so much supply bouncing around and stuck on the market is because, essentially put, that's kind of supply that hasn't found a home because people are so skittish now because of the movement. No one's touching anything. And there's no catalyst for anybody to do anything. Hey, a nice Genesis. Majestic number 2 for this box. So you need something. The market needs some data, and the market needs some confidence for people to do something. And right now, the market doesn't have that. So, I love that art. So, because of that, you see a lot more. The market's trying to figure out what Monarch's worth. And so far, nobody knows. And that's why we continue to see price erosion. Because people don't know. Everybody's trying to figure out. But it's very difficult to figure out when you don't have the proper information. And just like the stock market, hey, look at that. Majestic Death Hydra. Wish that was a cold foil. So, I think the Monarch Print Run, or at least I'm hoping, the Monarch Print Run is 100,000 or less. Okay? And then that's also going to set the tone that, hey, foil rare, finally. It's also going to set the tone that Tails is not 200,000-300,000 print run, and Everfest isn't 200,000-300,000. I think it's going to set the tone for the other sets. And I think that's probably more important, honestly, than maybe any of it. I think people are kind of, they care about that more than a lot right now. So that's where it's at. So essentially, this is the last video of Monarch box opening before we get all the news, the updates, and everything like that. And it will be quite fascinating to make a, hey, shadow puppetry again. It'll be quite interesting to see. We make market update videos when this information drops. And I'm sure the comment section will be quite interesting to see what everybody else thinks. I'm sure people are going to be like, Rudy, there ain't no way on God's green earth Monarch was printed under 100,000. That's probably what the comments are going to be. And I'm sure the comments are going to be, oh, Rudy, they're going to come out with a 180,000 print run. Box prices are going to collapse across the board. And that I can't say that's not possible. I'm hoping you're wrong. I'm afraid you could be right, but I'm hoping you're wrong. And I'm hoping that it does show more, how do I say it, stable and conservative stuff. That's what we're hoping for. By the way, we're box 2 here. We're down to the last 7 packs. We don't even have a cold foil. Remember, Monarch without a cold foil is a death sentence for Monarch First Edition. So if we don't get a cold foil in this First Edition, this is going to get pretty scary here, folks. This could be a complete disaster for the Salty Whale here. Seriously, I mean, your first box, we held pretty good. Cold foil, Majestic, decent cards. So I was like, dude, we need some action here. Rare, and all right, another, hey, look at that. We got the regular one. That was our cold foil in box 1. And that's the regular one. So we're down to a couple packs. I'm hoping, like, bottom of the box, we get one of these situations. So we'll see what happens here in the next 36. Oh, there we go. Thank you. Okay. Cold foil, I know. It's not, Eclipse Cold Foil Legendary isn't really deemed the most sought after one. I know, 2 rares, bobble. But you know what? It is a Cold Foil Legendary. Not going to complain. Honestly, Salty Whale, not bad. Okay. Cold Foil Majestic, Cold Foil Legendary, and a 2-box opening. I'm going to call that pretty stable, man. I'm not going to, we can't really complain too much about that at all. I know Eclipse is like the cheapest Cold Foil Legendary, but you know what? We're going to take it. That's not bad at all. All right, Foil Rare coming through. Convulsions for rare, and of course, another rare behind it. So that's my speech, everybody. I'll give you guys a little summary conclusion here at the end of the video because we only got a pack or 2 left. That's where things stand. That's what's going on for everybody. Hey, Celestial Catalysm for Majestic. I think it's our 5th or 6th Majestic. I do notice it's pretty consistent on the foil Majestics. Every once in a while we get a box with 2 foil Majestics, but literally like every single box. I mean, we're getting 1 foil Majestic. It's pretty consistent, man. So, all right, wrapping up. Thanks again, Salty Whale, for being a long-term patron. Very kind. I appreciate the continued support and kindness. And wrapping up the video here. Common, rare. Hey, Soul Shield for Majestic in the close. Final thoughts, everybody out there around the world. Like I said, hopefully this video comes out before around that April 6th, 7th range when they release this information. So we're about a week out until that comes. My instinct also, I do have concerns where no matter what the number is, even if the print run number is not out of control, the market could use as an excuse to sell off further. Because there are some people out there that are like, look, Crew First Edition was 36,000 boxes and change, 36 and change, 36,000. So they should have doubled Crew to 72. Anything over 72, you need to run. I've had messages come from other stores of people telling me that. And I said, respectfully, I don't know if I think that's a healthy or the right way to look at it, but I'm afraid a lot of people are going to look at it that way. And I do not believe, I'm almost 100% certain, there's no way Monarch's print run is 72,000 or less. I don't buy that. I think it is going to be higher than that. I think the question is going to be, is it going to come in at 100, 110, 120, and 150, 200? And people are telling me 250 to 300,000 boxes, which I don't buy. I think the reality is it's going to land between that 100 to 200 range, and I'm hoping it's more towards the lower end versus the higher end. Because it's kind of funny, because when you look on like TCG Player and eBay, honestly, folks, when you actually look at it, there's really not thousands of boxes sitting on the market that can't find a home. That's kind of the funny thing about it, is the quantity of Monarch First Edition boxes on the open market is actually not that extreme. The quantity of Monarch Unlimited on the open market is actually not that extreme. It's really not a ton at all for the attitude that and the toxicity that people are assigning to the product. It's very fascinating. The kicker is, what is the problem is there's no activity. People aren't touching it. Like literally there are, unlike, and again, make fun of me all you want, Magic, Pokemon, or Metazoo, or Force of Will, or, Weiss, or anything. There are 1, 2, 3 days, sometimes a week, that will go by. In other words, there's over 24-hour periods all the time where a single box doesn't even sell in one to 4 days. And that tells me, that speaks more volumes than the price of the product. And that's what gets my attention more than what Monarch's selling for. Even if Monarch at 160 goes to 100, or it goes back to 200 to 300, that's not really the point. The point is, there's no activity. Nobody's stepping up to actually say, I want the product and I'm buying it. Now, is this a result of people just not, the market has rejected Monarch, like we've talked about in the past? Or is it a result that people are just saying, I'm done getting burned on Monarch. It was 700. I bought from Rudy on his $9.99 kit, which was the promos and the boxes. So your boxes came out to 400 a piece plus your promos. And then I bought again when it dropped to 300. I bought again when it dropped to 200 like Rudy. And now it's 160. I'm done buying on the way down, right? So, and you can't really fault people for that. Like, you can't fault people for that. They bought the dip and the dip kept dipping. Chuck Norris just laughed and just looked at him. So you can't fault people for just saying I'm out and not touching it. That's the unfortunate image that Monarch has gotten. And I don't know if that's ever going to be shaken until years go by and, it can reset itself at a firm price, which could take years or it could never happen depending on what happens in the next week. So, the problem, what scares me is that if the number comes out and it's so high, 150, 200,000, 250, like people are telling me, somebody even told me 400,000. Get out of here. If it comes out so high, a lot of these stores and people having them on the open market, they're not selling. They're going to see that number. They're going to be like, I can't even sell it for 160, 170. Screw it. I'm putting it for 99. I want out. Or I'm putting it for 89. I want. And this thing could just get nuked. And that's the biggest concern. Because if the water level drops that much, all the ships are going down. I don't care if it's a Rudy Gemkeeper card, a Cold Foil Original card, a Potion, a Go Bananas promo. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's a Fabled card. All the ships are going to drop if the water level drops. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call more cataclysmic, kind of a true viral virus style spread. That's the real risk, in my opinion. And that's why I think the market is just so quiet. All you see are tumbleweeds because everybody wants to know what to do. Godspeed, everybody.